So do you think that this is flowing from the president's thoughts, which we understood he voiced outside the country when he said he believes the judiciary is his headache?
The president is speaking from his own conviction. The president of Nigeria does not necessarily, that he is the president of Nigeria does not necessarily mean that he is Nigeria. And his view represents the view of one person, and that one person is the president of Nigeria. I have never seen a place where a president goes to another country and begins to tell the people who care to listen that judiciary is the bane of the fight against corruption. And if you look at it very well, that statement is most uncharitable.
What do you think he must have seen, or the EFCC is going through, that has warranted that statement coming from the chairman of the commission?
I wouldn't know what he has seen because he did not elaborate. But I know the cases are in court and the cases are being handled to the best of the ability of the judges. Remember that years back, cases come to court and they linger and linger and linger. But today, these cases are given accelerated hearing and we see it happen. So the judiciary we are talking about is the judiciary of today. And I believe that they are doing their best. Don't forget that judiciary is one that does not have the opportunity to speak for themselves. No judge accused of any wrongdoing has the power to come to AIT or Channels or Silverbird or NTA to say this is not true. He can't even employ the services of a lawyer to go and say it. You know, so they are there, they are at the receiving end. As we make those statements, have we thought about the three arms of government? The legislature, the executive, and the judiciary. Can we in good conscience say that judiciary ranks last or second to the last amongst the three? We cannot say that. Can we say we have been fair to the judiciary? Their budget, do we know what their budget is? Do we know that judiciary is the one body that has had its budget go down, even when inflation is rising, even when the legislature is approving the appointment of more judges, their budget remains where it is, and most times deep. If we want to energize judiciary, we should start from that standpoint. Let's look at their tools. Are they well tooled? What are their problems? How do you explain a situation where one judge handles 30 cases in a day? What speed are you looking at? You know, so these things are issues that we will look at. And this also pains me. The president can say it is not a lawyer, but when lawyers join in the fray, I actually shudder, because the same lawyers are the lawyers who keep writing petitions even when they lose common applications in court. Rather than go on appeal, they'll begin to write petition against the judge. What is the appellate court doing? What are their duties? Is it not to listen to such appeals?
Yeah,
you know, so basically, I must tell you that the president may have spoken out of pain, but he needs to be, the Attorney General of Federation needs to look at the situation more closely to see where the problems are and begin to proffer solution.
Mr. Tiaba, if we say that Nigeria's problem is corruption and the judiciary is a part of Nigeria, do you think that the judiciary could be immune from corruption?
Judiciary is not immune to corruption at all, and there are procedures and processes to bring judicial officers to book. It is well known. In times past, judges have been sacked, judges have been retired, and those processes are there. Nobody is saying that judiciary is immune from corruption. After all, corruption has permeated every facet of the society, and it manifests within the police force, within the medical corps, within the executive, within the legislature. So I am not saying that you will not find one or two judicial officers corrupt. That's not my case, and I cannot reasonably say that.
I want us to go back to what you just reminded us of, talking about the three arms of government, looking at the judiciary and also looking at the comments coming from even lawyers, politicians, to the extent that even judgments that emanate from the Supreme Court also before public discussions. Do you think those amount to rubbishing the independence of the judiciary, so to speak?
Suleiman, the comments I hear from lawyers and non-lawyers are worrisome, and I will compartmentalize them into two. The first is the politicians. Don't forget that the politicians, they live a life of pressure. From the day they go to pick the ticket of their party, they bring pressure on the organ of the party that gives them ticket. They move to INEC for the election. They bring a lot of pressure on INEC to declare them whether they win or they don't win. Next is the judiciary, that they must be pronounced the winners of the election. So by the time they get to the judiciary and they get to Supreme Court, where Supreme Court has the jurisdiction, they begin to lampoon the Supreme Court that they are compromised and that they have not done justice, because they are counting their costs from the day of primaries till they got to where they find themselves. So the average politician destroys his political party. He wants to destroy INEC and eventually destroy the judiciary, so long as he does not get what he wants. So for them, I'm not really bothered. They can talk on. But when lawyers talk, I also shudder. The reason being that many of them talk out of ignorance, with due respect.